to hanging out and getting to know you all better. Oh, and here's Judy.
Judy, and I'm just busy first time today.
Well, it's nice to have you all here with us today. Just a few announcements this morning. If you'd like to take one of the flower arrangements home, please do so. There's one on the piano and one on the entry table and back, and those are courtesy of Wayne Daniel. So there's a note on the order of service. There will be some interludes of responsive singing and responsive reading and song during the sermon. So I just want to give you a heads up and draw your attention to your cue, which if you look in your order of service where it says sermon, and then there's a little litany. So when you hear me say that first line, your job is to say the part entitled Congregation. And then we will sing a refrain. And this will happen a couple of times during the sermon. So you actually have to pay attention this week. Also, want to put a plug in for the workshop that's taking place here this coming Saturday, the House We Live In Anti-Racism, Anti-Oppression Workshop. We have about 25 people signed up so far. There's room for more. It's going to be very informative and challenging and will really stretch us, I think, as well as enlighten us. So you're invited to come to that. The sign-up sheet is in the back. So on your way out, if you want to put your name down, there is a fee for that. It's $40 for 2 Saturdays. But we also have scholarship money still available, and you could avail yourself of that if you'd like to. And we could take care of that over an email conversation. Also, I promised Wayne that I would announce that we, in fact, have a web-based calendar. This is not new, but it might be news. And you are encouraged to pay attention to that. What's the website, Wayne?
wvuu.org, and there is a button on the left-hand side that says calendars.
Easy enough? I'll try to start doing that myself.
What does it say?
I will start doing that. So let us find our center. So take a moment to take a breath. Take a deep breath and let it go. Take another breath to remember the struggles and transgressions of the weak and let them go. A deep breath to remember offenses given or received and let them go. A deep breath to recall a deep joy and let it go. And now a deep breath to find peace and to find our breathing. This morning, Kathy Abramowitz will kindle our chalice.
I'm your emergency substitute. This is by James Allen. The greatest achievement was at first, and for a time, a dream. The oak sleeps in the acorn, the bird waits in the egg, and in the highest vision of the soul, a waking angel stirs. Dreams are the seedlings of realities.
Thank you, Kathy. Please join me in the order of service in reading together our UU covenant. Love is the doctrine of our church. The quest for truth is our holy right, and service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve humankind in friendship. Thus do we covenant.
So today is a happy occasion. We get to welcome some new members to our party. Anne, would you come up and help me do the honors, as well as Nick Reachmeck and Valerie Lynch and Mona Johnson.
My
Is she here? Okay, she's not here today. We'll begin the ceremony with a responsive reading, 728. Blessed are those who yearn for deepening more than escape, who are not afraid to grow in spirit.
Blessed are those who take seriously the bonds of community, who regularly join in celebration and worship, who come to much minister as to be ministered unto.
Blessed are those who bring their children, who invite their friends to come along to join in fellowship, learning, and growth.
Blessed are those who support the church and its work by their regular, sustained, and generous giving, and who give of themselves no less than their money.
Blessed are those who know that the church is often imperfect, yet rather than harbor feelings of anger or disappointment, bring their concerns and needs to the attention of church leaders.
Blessed are those who, when asked to serve, do it gladly, who realize that change is brought about through human needing, who do the work of committees and stay till the end.
Blessed are those who speak their minds in meetings, who can take and give criticism, who keep alive their sense of humor.
Blessed are those who know that the work of the church is in the transformation of society, who have a vision of beloved community transcending the present, and who do not shrink from controversy, sacrifice, or change.
Blessed are they indeed.
I have a few words to recite. These are words that were developed by the Unitarian Universalist Church of South County, Mission Viejo, California. And Donna Deaver made us aware of them a couple of years ago, and they're very fitting for such an occasion. What is this church? It is not the building, except to the extent that we have chosen it and made it ours and adorned it with the fruits of our time, treasures, and talents. It is not the minister, except to the extent that we have called him to inspire and guide us in our spiritual lives. It is not the music, except to the extent that we make it when we blend our voices together to produce sounds lovelier than any one of us could make alone. It is not even the beliefs, for we as Unitarian Universalists have no single unifying belief, only the combined beliefs of each one of us. The church is the people. Without me, without you, This church is nothing. It does not exist. Buildings may fall down, ministers may retire, music may go out of tune, and beliefs may falter. No matter, we are this church. Without us, it is nothing, but with us, it can be anything. Valerie and Nick. I have to say, Anna Johnson is not here this morning and won't be with us for a couple of weeks. She's had to return to Montana to help with the care of her mother. So we'll have a special ceremony for Anna sometime soon. But we do have Nick and Valerie with us this morning, and I would like to say welcome to our congregation and welcome to our community. As mementos of this occasion, we offer you your very own copy of UUA Principles and Purposes. Eventually. And a symbol of our church, of Unitarian Universalist Association, is your black hat.
Thank you.
And I should, at this point, announce also that Nick, I'm sorry, Nick, I can never look at you again without seeing Nick the Greek. That's how he introduced himself. From Tijuana, yes. Nick Reachback and Valerie Lynch are husband and wife. So.
And I just have a little I do part to go as you get your roses. So congregation, this requires your participation as well. Are you, new member, prepared to enter into covenant with and join your spiritual journey to that of West Valley Unitarian Universalist Church, and to support this church with your spirit, time, talent, and treasure? If so, please say, I am.
I am.
And are you, as a continuing member, prepared to enter into covenant with and welcome our new members to our spiritual journey here at West Valley Unitarian Universalist Church, and to be responsible stewards of their spirits, time, talent, and treasure? If so, please say, I am.
I am.
Get me cool.
Welcome. Thank you.
Fires we did not build have warmed us. We have drunk at wells we did not dig. In acknowledgement of our many blessings and many needs, an offering is now received to support the mission of our church. We invite this morning's visitors to think of themselves as our guests. Please do not feel obligated to contribute. These offerings are received in love and joy, and may they, as they support our church, bless many lives. I hear some feet back there. Would the children please come forward for a story for all ages? Come on down and sit on the floor. And I've got something exciting to share with you. Have you ever found any money? How many of you have found money? Almost everyone. Then you find money? Oh, you would earn allowance. But finding money that really doesn't belong to you is different than allowance. And a couple of weeks ago, my friend Mark and I took a long journey across the valley to Scottsdale, Arizona. It took almost an hour to go to a special movie. And as we were walking from the parking lot, Mark said, "Oh, it's my lucky day." What is this, Morgan? Yeah, well, allowance. Wow, your parents are generous. This is a $10 bill. And Mark found it. You know, I found some coins before, maybe even $1. And sometimes you find some money, like your allowance, when you clean up. Some of us have clothes we put on them. Oh, look, I had put some money away. But Mark didn't earn this. And he didn't know who it belonged to. But he saw it. He picked it up off the ground, and it was his. Well, it's not his anymore, because it's going into the church offering. Because, you know, giving away things, money, talents, sharing with other people is often the best gift of life. It makes you feel so good to give and to share. So our story this morning is about a woman in the Bible who met Jesus in a little village. Jesus is a good word if you speak about Jesus as the good leader that he was, and as the Son of God, as many people believe, and as a man in the Bible who taught many good things. But if we say Jesus in a bad way, to use it, then it's not good. But we're talking about Jesus in a good way this morning. And in this little village near Jerusalem a long time ago, there was a woman who didn't have much money. She grew her own fruit and vegetables, had a chicken that gave her eggs. But one day she was walking down the road and she saw 2 little copper pieces on the ground. They looked like pennies, but together they were worth even less than 1 penny. She put them in her pocket. I think I'll buy a piece of bread with this, she thought. A few days later, she heard from her neighbors that a teacher named Jesus would be speaking in a worship service at a nearby temple. She thought it might be interesting to go to the service and listen to this teacher. When she got to the temple, many people had gathered to hear Jesus. Some people she recognized, some she didn't know at all. But some said hello to her and asked her to sit next to them, which was really nice. At the service, she prayed and she listened to Jesus speak. She found herself feeling full of love and wonder. There came a part in the service when Jesus asked people to donate money to support his ministry. Just like Morgan, just like we had offering today, in this story, Jesus asked people to give money in the synagogue so he could continue his ministry and so they could help many people. Well, during this offering, there were people that were very rich and they donated lots of money, probably more than $10. But the old woman, she reached into her pocket and found those 2 little copper pieces, the only money she had in the whole wide world. And she walked up to the donation box and put in one of those pieces, half of all the money that she had. Jesus saw the old woman put her coin in the box, and he knew what she had shared, something really big and important in her life, half of the money that she owed. So he told the people assembled that her gift was more special than any of the gifts given by the rich people. She had given half of all the money she had. Jesus encouraged people to be generous always, to give what we have, money, gifts, sharing good words with people that we know. To be generous not only with money, to be generous with their hearts. And now we will sing you to your Sunday school. Thanks for listening.
Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the Spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
I would like to thank Mark Oler King for the prop in today's story. Now is an opportunity for us to share joys and sorrows. Something unique in our denomination, I believe. You need not be a member to share. You may come up and share a personal joy or sorrow. Please introduce yourself, drop a stone in the water to signify that sharing, and all we ask is that you keep it short and not political. So please come forward and share.
Good morning. My name's Diana Barker, and unfortunately I have a sorrow, but I do have a joy also. The sorrow is that I found out that a friend of mine that I've known for quite a long time was just diagnosed with chronic kidney disease, and she's going through a lot of tests to find out what's wrong and if there's anything that they can do to help. And she's just a wonderful person, so I'd like for all of you to kind of keep her in your thoughts. And my joy is that I now have a birthday buddy. My birthday was last week, and my niece had her son on my birthday. And so Sean Patrick Bollinger is now my birthday buddy.
Good morning, I'm Nick the Greek from Tijuana. And I have a few joys to share this morning. The first is that my oldest grandchild, I should say ours, but it's from our first marriage. Our oldest grandchild just turned 18, and now, according to American tradition, she has overnight become an adult. So. And then I'd like to share on behalf of Valerie and myself our joys and our gratitude for being able to be members of this community. And I just wanted to tell you that this ceremony that we had this morning sure beats an Aztec sacrifice.
Doesn't that just tear your heart out? Anyway, I'm Terry Meade, and I've got several things. First of all, I wasn't here last Sunday, so I wasn't able to express my joy, and thanks to everybody who showed up the day before for our maintenance day. So at this time, Glenn and Fabian, thanks Fabian, new attendee here, Ken, and Nancy. So thanks a bunch for all coming and helping out. Second, is a kind of a combination joy and concern. My granddaughter, most of you know, 15-year-old, had
serious allergic reaction this week. She's allergic to peanuts, but this one apparently was to laundry detergent or something, but she's okay. And then Glenn Snyder, who wasn't able to make it today, caught me outside, wanted everybody to know that he has a new career opportunity. So occasionally he's going to be away from us, but he's going to be involved in farmers markets, selling garden carts and plants. So anyway, he's not here today, but he is here in spirit. Thank you.
I would also like to thank the people who cleaned up because I had a birthday party here that day and it was nice and clean. But aside from that, Mitch is not here today, but because he had some work that he had to take care of. But we were in a wedding on Friday. Our good friends across the street got married, and we were their only attendants, so it was very nice.
My name is George, and I'm on my way to see a friend that is 86 years old and just found out yesterday he has lymphoma. He was my minister for many, many years in another church, but a very ecumenical one. And he left that church to become a president of a college in California. But he was always there for Jill and I. There's lots of stories I could tell. It was almost mystical. But I would like everybody to keep him in their prayers.
Hi, I'm Chris. I would like to put a stone in there because I finally got a little part-time job, and thanks to Coriel and Mitch, I'm cleaning their house twice a month, which is great. And if anybody else needs their house cleaned or the weeds pulled, windows cleaned, anything like that, I could use another job like that in addition to it. And a friend of mine, she lost her cat. That was a favorite cat. So we'll put a stone in there for that. Keep her in your hearts, and if her cat could come back, that would be great. Her cat's name is Silver. It's a Siamese Angora cat, beautiful cat. She loves that cat. She wishes it would come back. Hey.
I can provide a replacement.
I'm Lou Howell. I have a joy. I just successfully completed a full course on Swedish massage at the Southwest Institute of Healing Arts, and not certified, but I'm qualified.
Where do we line up?
Swedish massage. We'll line up at the back, but after the service. Don't get too anxious.
Good morning. This isn't really my sort of thing, so in terms of like speaking in front of people, so I'm a little nervous about this, but I wanted to have an opportunity to say, my name's Christy, I'm new here, I'm glad to be here, so that's my joy.
Thanks, Tristan.
Very good.
Thank you to all those that shared this morning. I place this stone for other joys and sorrows deeply felt but left unspoken this morning. And finally, a stone for those who have no place to share joys and sorrows. Our preparatory hymn this morning is number 396. As you can see, it can be sung as a 4-part round, but we're going to keep it simple this morning. We're going to ask Whitney to play it through once, and then we will sing all together 3 times. And if you want to join in at part 2, 3, or 4, you're welcome to do it, but we should all end together after singing it through 3 times.
I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will furl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will furl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will furl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open.
So that's the song that we will be returning to after the litany throughout the sermon. We'll just sing it through one time in the midst of the sermon. So I'm getting over a cold, so I beg your pardon if I'm a little sniffly. If it helps, you may imagine that I am becoming emotional. So the liturgical theme for this month has been dreams. And I chose that because I've asked you all to start dreaming as individuals and as a congregation about where you want West Valley Unitarian Universalist Church to take you. Not where do you want to take West Valley, where do you want West Valley UU to take you? And so I've been talking about dreams, and dreams as they relate to myth, and poetry as a language that accesses the dreaming part of us, the eternal us on the mythic plane. And how does that relate to where you might want this congregation to take you? Well, it's not my place to connect those dots. That's the work I lay before you. Today, I offer another dot to juxtapose over and against the others, again leaving the connection up to you. This dot on the dream theme comes with a warning. Dreams can be dangerous. Dreams can cause pain or kill. Dreams can die and take you with them. As in all things, discernment is key, and you must choose your dreams with care. For starters, there is the old admonition, be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. Or perhaps you've heard the most dangerous thing about wishes or dreams is that they might come true. Well, yes, that can be dangerous. It might not be, but there's a risk. Still, that is not the most dangerous thing about dreams. The most dangerous thing about dreams is their disappointment, pursuit to no satisfaction, all in against a better hand, busted, dust to dust. Of course, these admonitions and warnings about the dangers of dreaming amount to nothing. We can no sooner stop dreaming than we can stop breathing, or wishing, or hoping, or praying. Then again, sometimes the former, or I should say the latter, leads to the former. Sometimes dreaming can lead to dying. A friend, handsomer than most and drawn to risk and danger and the darker side of human mechanisms, he dreamed of fame. Many do, of course. In fact, I would suggest that fame is the ordering myth of our culture, and it is an exceptionally dangerous dream. How different would our society look if the ordering myth was not fame but compassion? Fame is supposed to grant us nigh on superpowers. What if we as a culture believed compassion granted extra human cachet? And that's fun to think about. But I digress. My friend dreamed of being famous and did so in a way that was far more intentional than most of us do. He chased the dream. And it's not entirely an ignoble dream, incidentally, but it is dangerous because it operates on a powerfully superficial plane. It's the kind of thing that causes one, well, it caused my friend anyway, to declare that if he had not achieved fame by the age of 30, he would do himself in. So that became an addendum to and part of the dream. Fame by 30 or bust, dust to dust. Well, 30 approached without much momentum toward fame. He tried dreaming other dreams, but there was no power in them for him. And slowly his dream died. And it seemed to take a part of him along with it. So one day he went rock climbing alone, which defies the first and most obvious law of that sport. And he did not come back. And whether it was the result of intention or gross negligence was never determined, but I'm not sure there's much of a difference. I believe that he dreamed the wrong dream. But beyond that, his dream, whatever it was about, while powerful, was not powerful enough to come true or to give birth to other aspirations. It was strong enough to motivate his ethics, his actions, his priorities, and self-conception, but it was not strong enough to withstand its own disappointment. It was not generous enough to deliver him into other aspirations. Fame by 30 or bust. His dream did not come true, and then it did. So dreams can be dangerous, and more precisely, their disappointment can be dangerous. And I am certain that you each know what that feels like. When dreams die, when your ambition is derailed, or your affections spurned, or your body betrays itself, or your family upset, your loved ones undone, or your faith undermined, or your hope deceived. You don't get the job, your offspring flounders, your health decays, your efforts go unrewarded, a relationship crumbles. What you think is your best is not good enough. The loss of a dream. But I will tell you this. Even in that loss, there is life. So your order of service: for the dreams lost and love forgotten, I will reincarnate love.
I will listen for you in moments of stillness, and let you be my stillness in moments of chaos. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open.
So we start with our own pain. Let us remember the dreams that died to us. This is our preparation. We will not stay here, but we must find this place of profound disappointment within ourselves, and maybe that's not too hard to do. Or maybe it takes some work after all. So find it. That smoldering sorrow of abandoned dream, of love forgotten. Remember it and keep it close. We will not stay here. If you stay in your own pain and let that be the end of it, well, that's about as close to hell as I think you can find. No, I say to you that there is a semblance of redemption, if not redemption itself, available. There is an opportunity, even in the memory of that pain, and perhaps only in the memory of that pain, for a dream to reincarnate. Our loss may be a bridge, and our vulnerability opens us to compassion. And here we find that purpose beyond ourselves that has the capacity to heal our disappointment. More than that, by understanding the pain of others through our own experience of pain, we have the opportunity of empathy and the inspiration to action that empathy brings. Because there are others, and perhaps some here, whose lost dreams remain unredeemed, whose dismayed hopes still sting, whose hearts ache, who weep for the loss. And then there are those who are all around us, but also nowhere, who cannot be here. Those who have perished in pursuit of their dreams. Now, last year, right here in Arizona, 192 people were known to have died pursuing their dreams. These are folks for whom conditions are so poor, so dangerous where they are from, that they are willing to risk their lives. To knowingly risk their lives in order to provide themselves and their families with something better. So look, Mexico, South and Central America have always been places of prevalent poverty, despite the wealth of their natural resources. But the situation there has become more desperate since the turn of this century, as the effects of free trade, which favors those with greater economic power, take hold. Local and subsistence farmers are displaced, which increases the poverty. And meanwhile, our country's narcotic policy, in the face of our narcotic appetite, have created a war zone along the south side of our border and throughout many countries in Central and South America. In addition to that, the Border Patrol have effectively funneled all, if not most, immigrant traffic into Arizona by locking down Texas and California. So because of these combined forces, our state has become a mass grave, a memorial to dreams denied. And our official political response to this state of affairs has been to enact a law that is itself illegal, not to mention short-sighted because it addresses symptoms rather than causes. It is also racist in its intent, and as all racist activities are, based on fear rather than compassion. Incidentally, as our economy has floundered, the number of immigrants have decreased, but the rate of death has not. We're talking rates now, not absolute numbers. The death number dropped from 250 in 2010 to 192 last year. But immigration dropped by a greater percentage. So as our Border Patrol pushed people into more and more remote places, the death rate remains the same. So given that, why do they come? The very fact that they do come, even knowing the risk, is a testament to the desperation of their situation and the power of their dreams. Evidently, some dreams are more powerful than the fear of death. And look, never mind the politics. Never mind the legality. Focus for a moment on the humanity. Remember your disappointed dreams. And understand that there are people. Good people, bad people. Mothers, fathers, sons, and daughters dying of exposure for the sake of their dreams in our state. And there are reasons why they are coming, there are reasons why they are dying, and they are reasons that we can work to change. But what I would like you to consider is the reason why they are trying. Consider their dreams, the dreams of the dead. The dreams of those they left to help. And remember what it feels like when dreams die. For the dreams lost and love forgotten, I will reincarnate love. Your service.
My deeds. I will listen to you in moments of stillness, and let you be my stillness in moments of chaos. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I
Last week, our nation celebrated the life and social ideals of the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. He had a dream, right? And that dream led him to his death. But that dream, the dream of fairness, found new and countless incarnations. And we're still embodying and pursuing that dream. We have a lot of work to do. But we've come a long way towards its realization, and we're a better nation than we were before his influence. There's still a lot left for us to pursue. There's a lot of that dream left for us to dream. And there is much of our national hurt yet to heal. The very things that King dreamed in opposition to are prevalent right here in our own state. He understood the link between racism and economics, and he understood that racial equality was a joke without economic interests. What use is it being able to sit at a lunch counter, he asked, if you can't afford a hamburger? So the relationship between racism and economics is once again on display in our state, nation, and county. And it's not the first time scapegoating has been turned to as an answer to economic anxiety. That was the story of the antebellum South. And now it is our story as well. And yet, even our institutionalized racism, however embattled it may be, even that is way downstream from the far more pressing issue of the dead. 192 dreams busted. Dust to dust. Their dreams lost and our love forgotten. To remember your love, recall your lost dreams. Remember the pain of your disappointments. Imagine the desert. Imagine how you can help. Now, if you will rise in body or spirit, and join us in singing hymn number 121, We'll Build the Land. Mission statement of our church. It's written in the order of service, and I'll extinguish the chalice. This church provides a safe place
to celebrate diversity, provide inspiration to lives, foster social and environmental justice, and compassionately support each other in our spiritual service.
So use your disappointments, use your lost dreams to understand the hurt in your neighbor and in the stranger, and to help heal yourself and the world. May it be so.